Well, good evening, everybody, on this pleasant Friday night from the Charger Arena in Draper, Utah. Welcome to Copper Hills Basketball, presented by Ken Garf Automotive Dealers. Tonight, Copper Hills enters enemy territory as they take on the Corner Canyon Chargers in a Region 2 showdown. And with my broadcast partner, Tyler Gibb, joining me alongside Alexander Smillip here at Charger Arena. Well, Tyler, 2 years ago, the very first game we did was you and me here at Charger Arena. But what stands out to you about tonight, 2 years later, how different these two teams actually are?
Yeah, I believe it was Copper Hills that got the victory 2 years ago when we were in this gym. And now I think one of the main things that you'll notice is Brody Kozlowski is here, and he's a huge weapon for Corner Canyon, and he's arguably the best player in the state. So it's enjoyable to watch him play, and there's a lot of talent. Isaiah Reiser, he's come in for Copper Hills. He's still young, but he's 2 years under his belt now, or in his second year. So it's fun to watch that talent that we see come up.
So time now to hit the Heidemann Associates keys to the game before tip-off really quick. Presented by the full-service law firm that's committed to winning for their clients. Heidemann Associates. Tyler, what do both teams need to do to get out of here with a dub?
For Copper Hills, they've got to make sure they crash the glass. All 5 players have got to find a body and box somebody out. It's a tall Corner Canyon team. And for Corner Canyon, you got to start working your way inside. They struggled at the beginning of the last game against Copper Hills. They fell down 10-1, and then they kind of settled in, got things going inside, and controlled the tempo.
And they go right to Brody Kozlowski, who misses his first shot of the night. Tipped up, and the rebound is captured there by Jacob Curtis. That's going to be an interesting matchup to see how they can deal with the 6'7" Kozlowski. Kozlowski, of course, who signed to play for Andy Enfield and USC earlier this season. Again, talent all over the floor here tonight, just as it was 2 years ago. 10 on the shot clock, though. Tyler McVeigh matched up against Taylor Farrell. Starts to drive, comes to a stop, pull up Jay, that's too strong, and Farrell clears the glass, and here comes Brighton Valdez. Valdez drives on Reiser, no. And the rebound is captured by McVeigh. Bit of a helter-skelter start to this one here, about a minute or so into the game. Reiser back to Wes Curtis, puts up the three, that doesn't go. Lamborn able to save it though, but it comes right to Isaac Nybar. Into the block, Darrell Desiri spins, goes to work and scores, and there's the first basket of the game.
And that's a great job by Desiri. He ran the floor, and as soon as he did, he posted up on the block and he held his position. And it took a little bit of time, but eventually his teammates found him, and he just used his size to turn in for the 2.
Also just had a delay of game warning just issued to Corner Canyon for touching the ball on the inbound. And now we're going to have a stoppage as the clock was running before the inbound was made, and we're going to have a full reset here. So a bit of a slow start, even for the Zebras here this evening. Of course, our cameraman Doug Jardine would know about that. He's a former UHSAA official himself. It's Friday for everybody today as the inbound comes in to Jacob Curtis. Reiser on the dribble handoff, back to Boston Lamborn. Lamborn drives. Curtis, back to Lamborn, 10 on the shot clock. Again, Copper Hills getting deep into it. Lamborn launches a three, and he knocks it down. So a 3-2 early lead here for Copper Hills. Neibauer trying to answer. Reiser running up the floor with it. Reiser goes downhill, tough turnaround shot off the back heel, and Desiri clears. And there's Farrell, that's three is short. Kozlowski, though, gets the offensive rebound. Kozlowski back to Neibauer. Desiri rolling to the bucket. Farrell fights off Curtis, puts up that shot. That doesn't go, and the rebound is captured there by Wes Curtis.
Good job by Copper Hills, crashing bodies down low when Corner Canyon gets a paint touch.
Neibauer strips it, though, from Lamborn. Neibauer goes in and scores. So first basket for either side in almost 2.5 minutes. But they've had some good looks here early on, both sides. Reiser gets picked there by Valdez. 2-on-1 the other way. Valdez goes in and scores. And Tyler, that's already a concerning sign. Already 4 turnovers for Copper Hills, and Corner Canyon's gotten most of their points, if not all of them, on the turnovers.
And that's exactly how they jumped ahead in the earlier matchup. And Reiser is a great guard. He's got good handles. He's a good distributor, but Valdez is so quick. You just have to get rid of the ball fast against this team and keep it moving.
Reiser back to Wes Curtis, puts up a 3, knocks it down. Well, to Copper Hills' credit, they are getting good looks from the three-point line. And now we have a delay game warning called against Copper Hills. So both sides now have been warned here in the first 2.5 minutes, or 3.5 minutes.
And that's what you have to do against length. You have to get the ball moving. You can't stall. When you stall, it makes the passing lanes tougher. The defense is able to get settled in. You have to catch them while they're on the back of their heels and moving around. That's what's going to create open looks. 6-6
early on here. Alexander Timlip alongside Tyler Gibb with Doug Jardine on the camera. What a pass! Underneath from Desiri to Neibauer.
You can see him. He saw the open man. He was debating how to get it there, and Desiree, he decides to go a little over-the-head flick. Good look.
It helps when you're also 6'7". As Wes Curtis looking to turn, gets it back. Jacob Curtis, wide open 3. That tumbles in off the backboard. That won't count because it hit the shot clock. That's got to be concerning, though, for Dan Lunt and his team here early on, Tyler. They've given up a lot of open looks on the drive and kick.
Yeah, this Copper Hills team can shoot the ball. If you leave them open, you don't want to let the Grizzlies find a rhythm.
Boston Lamborn, one of the best three-point shooters in the region, along with the Curtis brothers. Everyone in this lineup can shoot. Isaac Neibauer takes it strong and scores. Isaac Neibauer already with 6 early points and a 10-6 lead here for Corner Canyon. As meanwhile, they got a foul underneath on Desiri, going up against Jacob Curtis.
This is a Copper Hills team that likes to take their time in the half-court offense and work it around, but against this team you see the made basket, but they still got the ball out and they ran right away and they're able to get to the free throw line because of it. You need to look for opportunities to create easy looks when you're going up against a Corner Canyon team like this.
You know, Tyler, that's the funny thing. That's been a hallmark almost of John Watkins' teams over the past couple of years, is that they've been able to get out and run in transition pretty effectively. At least early going. Brighton Valdez goes strong. That one is no good, but a foul on Reiser.
And that's what Valdez does there. He turns it around and does the same thing that Copper Hills just beat the Chargers with.
So that'll put Brighton Valdez, the senior, on the line to shoot 2 shots. Very evenly matched game here so far. Both teams trying to feel each other out as Valdez misses the first. The Rewind Sports Network's coverage of Copper Hills basketball is presented all season long by Ken Garff Automotive Dealers. We get it. You want the best prices, you want the best rates, you want the best deals. That's what we do. We hear you. Ken Garff Automotive Dealers, proud sponsor of Copper Hills basketball. Jaden Haight, Austin Ormond checking in at that last stoppage as Valdez goes 1 for 2. Noah Bendinger also checked in at the last stoppage, number 5 for Corner Canyon. Chargers have a 4-point lead here early on as Reiser, this is what he does. He likes to attack. McVeigh back to Haight, back to McVeigh. Dribbles off the screen. 14 on the shot clock. Lamborn gets an open lane, floats it up, left it short though. I don't think he realized how much time he actually had. Bendinger coming the other way. Neibauer comes to a jump stop and is fouled on the way up.
You're exactly right. That's one of those ones for Lamborn where you're used to rounding the corner and there's another big body inside, but he turned the corner just past the free throw line and it was so wide open that it catches you a little off guard and you try to rush it up.
On the block, Desiri. Back to Valdez for 3. Corner Canyon still hasn't hit a three-pointer. They're 0 for 5 from beyond the arc here. They're really going. Copper Hills, by contrast, is 2 for 5. Tyler McVeigh speeding around the corner. Reiser in the high post. Kicks it back out. Haight back to McVeigh, back to Reiser, matched up against Valdez. Reiser drives strong, scoops it off the glass and scores. That is exactly what Isaiah Reiser does. And his first field goal. So, Copper Hills hanging around, making a game of it here early against Corner Canyon, just as they did 2 years ago. Desiri matched up against Jaden Haight. Comes into the post, and we have a tie-up, and the possession arrow is going to favor the Grizzlies. Taylor Farrell checks back in now.
Copper Hills is in a 2-3 zone on defense, and so you see as soon as one of the bigs gets a touchdown low, that time it was Desiree, they send that middle guy in the zone in the paint to double team, and that time they're able to create the turnover.
Corner Canyon leads by 2. Reiser again to the basket. That time it got deflected a little bit off the backboard. Here comes Bendinger against Ormond. Tough shot, left that short. Fight for the rebound, and Lamborn has it. McVeigh, cross-court swing. And great closeout there by Neibauer to get his opposite number, Reiser, and he'll set it up with under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Reiser has the mismatch. Pass deflected. And Lamborn had nowhere to go with it. Already the 5th turnover against Copper Hills here early. And the umpire, the officials are being really stubborn about the clock here. That's the 3rd time that our scoreboard operator's been warned about running too much time. Already here in the first.
There was one they stopped to add about 2 seconds to the shot clock when the shot clock was already at 30 seconds.
Very interesting how that works. Neibauer goes in and he's fouled with 32:09 left here in the quarter.
Every second is valuable, but, but sometimes
yes, it is.
You wonder where you pick your battles.
Yes, it is. It is very valuable in this game. Neibauer to the line, shooting 2 shots, and his first one on the way rolls in. Wes Curtis checks back in, and Tyler, I turn to you for the last 32 seconds. I think Copper Hills will be quite happy to be down whatever they are here at the end of this quarter, despite having 5 turnovers here in this first 8 minutes.
Yeah, and this is a Copper Hills team that's proven that they can hang with Corner Canyon. You know, when they were playing at their own building, they won the first quarter. They were leading by 4, and through the first 15 minutes of the game, it was tied. So it is a team that's proven they can compete. You have to be happy, you know, showing that you can head into the second quarter down 4, maybe just 1 possession.
Final 16 seconds, last possession of the quarter. Austin Ormond out front. Now here's Reiser. Screen back to Curtis. Gets the one-on-one matchup. Pass deflected, but it came right to Ormond. Ormond trap. Lamborn, another 3. That's off the mark, no good, and that is it for the first 8 minutes here at Charge Arena. So Copper Hills, despite 5 turnovers, keeping it close. Igloo Outfitters, proud sponsor of the Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of Copper Hills basketball, which is presented all season long by Ken Garff Automotive Dealers. And it's presented by Jiffy Lube, proud to support Utah high school sports since 2004, the sponsor of the What Drives You scholarship program. You simply write about your goals and dreams for a chance to win $6,500 in scholarship money. Only 8 students will win, and Jiffy Lube is giving away $22,000 in total scholarship awards this year. Just visit jiffylube.com or jiffylubeutah.com for more information about the What Drives You scholarship program. Alexander Tamup alongside Tyler Gibb here at Charger Arena. Tyler, what stood out to you the most about that first quarter, despite the fact Copper Hills is only down by 4? A lot to do with the turnovers.
Yeah, a lot of deflections from Corner Canyon. They're getting their hands in the passing lanes. Now, one name that we didn't talk about a lot in the first quarter was Kozlowski, and he had 29 and 16 in his first game this season against Copper Hills. There he gets the ball. they go to work for an early rim out, but we'll see if they get him more active in the game plan.
Yeah, only 2 shots in the game for Kozlowski. That right there, Tyler, was his second.
And you think it may have been something that they talked about, drop a play coming out of the quarter to get him a touch. There's a lot of talent on this team, but he's so effective. It's a good drive there by Neubauer. But we'll see how active he is in the coming possessions.
Isaac Neubauer already 10 points to his credit. He scored 10 of the 15 points for Corner Canyon here early on. Brody Kozlowski, by contrast, only has 2 shots. Wes Curtis for 3. That one doesn't go. Bendinger chasing down the rebound, throws it off of Jacob Curtis out of bounds. As Valdez will check right back into the ballgame. And Desiri will get his first rest. Dan Lunt in his 8th season at the helm of Corner Canyon. Defending 6A state champions, of course, made that run to the state championship 2 years in a row, where they lost to American Fork one time and then defeated American Fork last year. As Kozlowski, nice dish. Better luck on the offensive board and the foul. And count the basket there for Isaac Neubauer off a great feed from Valdez.
And Kozlowski, he was surrounded on all sides by Copper Hills bodies, and that's why it's important that you don't just go for the rebound, but you find a body and you push them out and box out. That time Kozlowski just uses his size to jump up, grab it, and then a great look down low.
Speaking of a great look, how about Isaiah Reiser taking it strong right to the goal. He's got most of the offense so far here for CH. Brody Kozlowski still can't hit a shot. That's his 3rd one. He's missed all 3. We have a foul, meanwhile, on the baseline, on the rebound, and it's called against Boston Lamborn. Already the 3rd team foul for CH. And Tyler, offensive rebounds, those are becoming a real problem right now for Copper Hills.
Yeah, you can't afford to lose, extra possessions against this team. When you're looking for your first region win, you have to value the basketball.
Here's Bendinger driving off the screen, takes a lot of contact, that doesn't go. Fight for the rebound again. And this time it's a tie-up, but once again, like the first quarter, possession error remains with CH, and it'll go that way. Copper Hills 2 of 7 from beyond the arc. Corner Canyon still yet to hit a 3-point shot. They're 0 for 8. And Brody Kozlowski has missed all 3 shots he's taken. Wes Curtis over from his brother. Now McVeigh. He still hasn't scored yet. McVeigh, tough pull up. Rims out. Kozlowski clears. Isaiah Reiser going to take on the challenge of guarding him one-on-one now, as Copper Hills once again falls back into that zone. Interesting approach by head coach John Watkins here early. Bendinger, nice drive on the floater, pure.
Corner Canyon has done a good job against the zone of they get a pass, they swing it around, and then they attack those openings in the zone. They've got a few good looks at the rim because of that.
A 9-2 run here by Corner Canyon over the last 4.5 minutes. Nice backdoor pass. Jacob Curtis lost it on the way up. Neubauer to the basket. Left that short. A lot of contact there. There was no call. Meanwhile, Jacob Curtis leaking out the other end. Gets his 2 back. And again, it's a 7-point game as we approach 5 to go here in the first half. Alexander Timolip and Tyler Gibb on this Friday night from the Charge Arena here in Draper. Farrell, floater in the paint. Left it short again. Another offensive rebound. Bendinger lost that dangerously. Nice spin by Valdez. Tough shot. Got it.
Valdez is having a fantastic game, not just offensively, but he's been a menace on the defensive end on Reiser.
Well, except for there.
He picks up the foul, but guarding a guy like Reiser one-on-one up top, he's so shifty and quick, is Reiser, and Valdez has stuck with him all night, created some turnovers and made it tough for Reiser to get going.
Neibauer takes his first rest. He's got 10 points here in the first half. Reiser off a couple of screens, floats it. That doesn't go. Rebound for Kozlowski. Good look, though. Valdez speeding the other way. Naziri back. Kozlowski lost control of it, but finally gets his first field goal.
There we see Kozlowski use his size, and that's a coordinated play to be able to lose it on the drive, but he gets it back and is able to finish.
Halfway through the second quarters, we get another foul on Naziri on the block, and I believe that is going to be Desiri's second. And Neibauer, after about a 30-second breather, is going to come right back onto the floor. 4 minutes left here in the first half. 24-13. This is the largest Corner Canyon lead of the half. As we got a kick ball, so we're going to have a reset of the shot clock. Check it, actually. We're going to have an offensive foul against Copper Hills. I didn't see what happened, Tyler, did you?
They called it against McVeigh. I wasn't watching him. I didn't see what he did. It must have been some sort of moving screen or illegal pick.
Kozlowski back to Farrell, tries a three, bingo! And finally, Corner Canyon gets a 3 to fall. That's their first triple of the game on their 9th attempt. And it's not by Brody Kozlowski, shocker. Ormond, again, left that short. Copper Hills getting good looks, but just not able to finish. Valdez finally tripped along the baseline. It's been the story of the first half, Tyler. Ever since it was 11-9, it's a 16-4 run by Corner Canyon, but you have to say Copper Hills is getting their looks.
Yeah, and it's what we talked about a little bit before, is when there's a lot of size and it's tough to get easy looks inside, you seem to rush it when you do get those looks. And we've seen that on a couple of possessions where they get a look inside and they just turn and rush it. And so they need to just do a better job at being patient, and then when you do get it, take your time around the hoop and make sure you finish.
Yeah, we've seen Lamborn leave one short. We've seen Ormond leave one short. Very uncharacteristic of John Watkins' teams to not finish strong at the rim. Again, they have had the looks, but again, just not able to convert. Part of the reason why Copper Hills hasn't scored now in almost 3 minutes. And McVeigh, Curtis, steps on the baseline. And things starting to unravel a bit here for Copper Hills late in this first half.
You see a lot of Copper Hills offense. They're driving into places, but they're not sure what they're going to do with the ball. You need to move the ball and drive with a purpose. And they're getting stuck going into the size of Corner Canyon, not knowing what to do with the ball, and that's when those turnovers are happening.
Isaiah Reiser draws the foul there on Taylor Farrell. That's the third on Corner Canyon, so Copper Hills approaching the bonus, two more fouls to go, but Isaiah Reiser will have 2 more free throws here. As he hits the first. Rewind Sports Network's coverage of high school basketball continues next week on Friday. Celebrate senior night with us at the Fieldhouse as we present a Lone Peak doubleheader as they take on the Westlake Thunder. Coverage starts next week, Friday night at 6 p.m. on your home for Lone Peak basketball on KSL Sports Rewind. Going to be an exciting week to the finish of region play and to the finish of basketball here in the state as Kozlowski once again misses. That time, though, Farrell gets capped. Valdez, though, gets the steal, goes up, dishes to Neibauer, who scores. That's an unfortunate break there for Copper Hills. They really had a chance right there off the block.
That's what you see. You got to turn and go with a purpose. You can't just get the block, and that's a great drive in control by Reiser. But you get the big block and you want to get out in transition, but you can't just turn and go without understanding where you are and where the defenders are, and that time they just turn into trouble.
Isaac Neibauer, 14 points now. He's just having his way, going right through this Copper Hills defense. 3 more points, he would have tied the entire output by Copper Hills right now. That's incredible. McVeigh, tough shot. Floating up for the rebound, though, is Farrell. Around 3 bodies there. Here comes Kozlowski. Bendinger. Neibauer. And bad pass there, as that's going to be a turnover there for Corner Canyon. Maybe a little too unselfish there from Isaac Neibauer trying to get Kozlowski involved. Just the second turnover for Corner Canyon. Oddly enough, all the turnovers have come in the last 2 minutes. Isaac Neibauer takes a seat. 14 points for him here in this first half. As we are waiting on the officials to make sure all the subs are in right. And we are back underway here. Copper Hill's been outscored in this quarter 19. And outscored in this quarter 19-8. Nice backdoor cut. But great pressure from Valdez. He's done a really great job on Reiser in this first half.
He's not letting him get any separation, whether Reiser has the ball or it's off ball. It's been his assignment to shut Reiser down and make sure the Copper Hills offense doesn't get going, and he's doing just that.
1 for 10 now, Corner Canyon is from 3 land. McVeigh splits the double. Nice feed inside. Wes Curtis couldn't get that one. Jacob Curtis, though, able to follow up with a tough shot and knock it down. And the Grizzlies have finally breached double digits here in this quarter. They trail by 13 here. Bendinger for 3. Again, missing a quality look there, Corner Canyon. Now Reiser speeding ahead. Oh, what a play!
You see how dangerous he can be in the open court. If you don't slow him down before he gets full head of steam, he does a great job at getting to the rim and finishing.
Final 7 seconds. Dan Lunt trying to get his team to move. Valdez, Bendinger from way back, way off. And that's it for the first 16 minutes. Copper Hills was able to keep it close, but Corner Canyon scoring 19 points here in this quarter. And Tyler, you have to say, Corner Canyon, for all intents and purposes, has looked like the better team here tonight so far.
They look like the better team on a lot of nights with the teams that they play. 7-0 in region, but a good close to the half by Copper Hills to cut it to 11, go in and make some adjustments. There's just a lot of size and talent to deal with this Corner Canyon team.
Copper Hills basketball is presented on the Rewind Sports Network all season long by Ken Garf Automotive Dealers, and is presented by Jiffy Lube of Utah. I want to thank those two for their sponsorship of Copper Hills basketball all season long. We're at the half here at Charger Arena. Corner Canyon ahead by double figures, 32-21. Back with the second half after this word from our sponsors on the Rewind Sports Network.
Hey there, cleans every inch of chrome car washer. We like your style. Are you turning the line into a parking lot while cleaning that same spot for a 3rd time? You know it. But your impressive attention to detail means you've got the freshest ride on the road. Literally and figuratively. And when it's time for the next new truck to scrub, try Ken Garf for listening skills as thorough as your scrubbing technique. Hey, we hear you.
In 1971, the world's first Jiffy Lube opened in Utah. For over 50 years, we've been committed to servicing our Utah communities. Jiffy Lube, nationally known, locally owned.
Hey there, cleans every inch of chrome car washer. We like your style. Are you turning the line into a parking lot while cleaning that same spot for a 3rd time? You know it. But your impressive attention to detail means you've got the freshest ride on the road. literally and figuratively. And when it's time for the next new truck to scrub, try Ken Garf for listening skills as thorough as your scrubbing technique. Hey, we hear you.
Welcome back, everyone. Copper Hills basketball presented by Ken Garf Automotive Dealers continues here from Charge Arena in Draper with Tyler Gibb alongside me, Alexander Timolip here for the ride at CCHS. Tyler, what stood out to you the most for that first half?
Well, the defense of Quarter Canyon was outstanding. 32 points is pretty good for a first half, but their defense was what built them this lead. And the main category that you look at there is deflections. I thought there was a lot of deflections for Corner Canyon in that defense, and sometimes those lead to steals, sometimes they don't. But what it was doing is it was forcing Copper Hills to get out of rhythm. Copper Hills seemed to be a little bit flustered a lot of times and just kind of picking up their dribble and throwing it into no man's land. And
the funny part about this is, Tyler, Quarter Canyon's been able to build this 11-point lead, and Brody Kozlowski has only 2 points, and he's 1 of 5 from the field. How have you, though, seen Kozlowski been able to impact the game in other ways, though?
Exactly, and that's why Kozlowski and these guys, when they have a lot of offers and they're going to play at the next level, it's because they're not just one-dimensional. So Kozlowski hasn't filled it up in the scoring department per se, but his sharing of the basketball has been fantastic, and he's got rebounds. So you see his vision and his all-around game that even when he may not be scoring at a high level, he's impacting the game in so many other ways.
That seems like every person on this Corner Canyon roster, it seems, doesn't it? Because you see Neibauer has 14 points in that first half, and Kozlowski has been dominating the front line along with Desiri and all those other guys. And yet, Copper Hills, for all of their credit, are still only down 11 points, and that really has to be almost extraordinary given the fact that it is an 11-point game as Neibauer misses that one off the glass.
Yeah, it's a very unselfish Corner Canyon team. I mean, they have 6 guys that are averaging 8 points or more, and that's tough to come by on a lot of rosters, but it just shows that there's a lot of guys that are capable and a lot of guys that are willing to help their teammates out to make the team better.
25 seconds on the shot clock to reset after Neibauer missed. Nice pass inside on the dish from Kozlowski to Desiri and the jam. And
that's set up by who? It's Brody Kozlowski. You see his ability to distribute the basketball.
Lamborn off a couple of screens. Can't hit that 3, but Wes Curtis able to chase down the rebound. Weiser, nice spin move back to Curtis. Fakes underneath, goes up strong. Can't get that one to go. Farrell wipes that one away, but Reiser gets the rebound. Desiri says not so fast. And meanwhile, you're right, Valdez is down. Oh, of all the things that could happen right now for Corner Canyon, that is not what they need.
It happened on the first drive and shot attempt.
Yeah,
it looks like
he landed on somebody's foot. Oh, no, that could be a biggie. Brighton Valdez is heading over to the sports medicine table with the trainer right now. Wells Robertson checks in for him. Similar to what happened 2 years ago when Logan Whitehour turned his ankle against Corner Canyon in this very same building. Jacob Curtis back to Lamborn. Reiser coming up from down deep, takes it. Matched up against Robertson. Attacks, turnaround shot. No good. And a foul called on McVeigh for pushing off on Farrell.
You think Reiser thought maybe that Valdez is out of the game, I'll have a chance to get to the rim a little bit easier, but Robertson, who just came in for Valdez, did a great job at staying in front of Reiser and forcing a tough jump shot.
Corner Canyon's led by as many as 13 points. This is their largest lead of the ball game. They have not been able to break away as of yet. Kozlowski finally gets an open look and finally cans it. That's just his second field goal, but it gives the Chargers their largest lead of this game. Curtis drives, kicks it out to his brother. Open look, three-pointer. That's no good. Missouri fighting for the rebound, gets it. Now he could run. Why not? Tries it again. No good. Not out of the offensive board. Blocked by Curtis. Foul. Neibauer heads to the line now, trying for his 15th and 16th points of the ball game. 2 shots for Neibauer, who already has 14 of the 37 points here for Porter Canyon. First shot on the way is good. Want to bring you up to date on a couple of scores. We're watching Davis leading over Syracuse at halftime, 30-20. But the big game of the night, Olympus over Alta right now, 34-22 in the second half. 23rd ranked team in the nation, according to the USA Today Super 25, on the ropes potentially. Reiser drives downhill, nice move, count it, and one. Took Robertson right off the dribble and scooped it in off the glass.
That time Reiser, he's able to get past Robertson, so it was the Reiser-Valdez battle. Now it's the Reiser-Robertson battle, and Robertson got him on the first possession, but that time Reiser, he is so hard to contain and finishes through contact.
Kozlowski who's there to follow up. Meanwhile, we got a foul. You see, as soon as Wright Valdez went out with that injury, you see him getting worked on the sideline. You see him getting worked on the sideline right now. Robertson having a lot of trouble guarding Reiser. Open three, left it short. Lamborn the rebound. Jacob Curtis. Hesitated just for a brief moment, then turns it over. Kozlowski, great catch behind the head, but had nowhere to go. Now tries a three. Left that one short. And the rebound is brought down here for Reiser. Reiser, back it goes. McVeigh for three.
That time it's a good job of getting into the offense quick, moving without the ball, and then spotting up for the open three.
On the block now, Kozlowski. Robertson, nice drive. Gets it, plus the foul.
Well, if you want to earn the trust of your coaches and teammates, you step into the game at a time when Valdez, who is playing so great, goes out with an injury, and you show that you're going to work hard to defend on one end, and then you can get to the basket on the other.
4:37 left to go, as Copper Hills head coach John Watkins has seen enough. Back after this message from Ken Garf.
Hey there, cleans every inch of chrome car washer. We like your style. Are you turning the line into a parking lot while cleaning that same spot for a third time? You know it. But your impressive attention to detail means you've got the freshest ride on the road. Literally and figuratively. And when it's time for the next new truck to scrub, try Ken Garf for listening skills as thorough as your scrubbing technique. Hey, we hear you.
Ken Garf Automotive Dealers, proud sponsor of the Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of Copper Hills basketball. Porter Canyon with their largest lead of the game at 43-27. Alexander Timolip and Tyler Gibb joining you here. Well, Tyler, this is about what we thought we were going to see here tonight. Porter Canyon now finally starting to pull away a bit here in this third quarter.
Yeah, it's what they did in the first matchup. The first half was pretty close when they played at Copper Hills, and today, Corner Canyon took the double-digit lead in the halftime, but now they're really showing why they're, leading the region and such a talented team. And you just have to hope, as Valdez, he has his left ankle wrapped around some ice there. You can see him at the table at the end of the bench. But you hope that he's healthy going forward. He may not get back in tonight, but you want him for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that'd be a big loss for Corner Canyon if he's not able to come back for any extended amount of time, as McVeigh leaves that one off the bottom of the backboard. Neibauer almost loses it. Desiri goes to work, spins, can't get that one to go. Kozlowski picks it back up and in. And this now the latest, largest lead here for Copper Hills. Reiser drives. Curtis was left alone on the baseline. Again, hesitated for just a brief moment and was eventually forced to commit the foul. And that's happened quite a bit tonight, Tyler, where the Copper Hills guards and forwards just not able, just too hesitant on the baseline to go up.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you, Desiree has been an absolute monster down low on the defensive end. He has made it so difficult for anybody to get a layup off inside. Anytime he's down there, he's making it miserable for Copper Hills to execute their offense.
Kozlowski left wide open. He's not as many of those. He's finally starting to pick it up. Now he's got 11 points after just 2 in the first half. Reiser, step back three. They need it. They don't get it. Neibauer and Farrell going up for the rebound. Neibauer gets it. Ziri coming up the floor. Goes up strong and scores. And the run continues. The run continues for Corner Canyon. Reiser comes to a stop. Flicks it out. McVeigh for 3. Left it short. Curtis the offensive rebound. New 35 here. Under 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Copper Hill's been outscored in this quarter by a 2-1 margin almost. That 3 doesn't go. Farrell clears the rebound as Jacob Curtis once again hits the floor. And finally forced to commit the foul. Jaden Haight comes in along with Austin Ormond. That's the 15th foul on Copper Hills, so Corner Canyon will be at the line to shoot 2. Neibauer was looking over to the sideline for a timeout, I think. He made the signal like he wanted to take a timeout, but
I've been really impressed in this third quarter with the Corner Canyon offense, and in particular with Brody Kozlowski. A lot of guys, if their shot's not falling that night, it's easy to check out. But Kozlowski, throughout the first half, he stayed with it in all aspects of the game, and you see in the third quarter he's done a great job of letting the game come to him. He's still been active on the glass. He's been distributing the basketball, but he's also been scoring. So you see how when you stay in the game and in other aspects, the scoring will come, and that's helped this whole Corner Canyon team to just lift the offense, and the whole offense does a great job of just playing basketball and letting the game come to them. They don't force it if they're out of rhythm a little bit.
you know, Tyler, that's such a stark contrast from what we saw a couple of years ago with this team when Corner Canyon got off to that really rocky start in region play. They've lost their first 4 region games, and then were able to turn it around and make that run to the state championship where they lost to Ryan Cuff and American Fork a couple of years ago. You almost feel like, Tyler, that this team, if they play this way every night, they can be a dominant force. They can be a number 1 team. And the fact of the matter is, I think you'll agree with me, sometimes it's just taking a little bit for Dan Lunt's team to finally get going because of so many things out of their control.
Yeah, and the best teams are going to have off nights, but they trust their offense. The great hesitation move by Reiser he's fought and battled tonight and had some great moves, but they trust their team and they trust their offense, and there's a lot of talent on the Charger team that they can turn, to different ways. They can go inside, they can shoot the ball, but they trust themselves.
Guys are fighting for it on the floor. We have a tie-up. Possession arrow belongs to Copper Hills, so it'll be a turnover. Corner Canyon led by 11 at halftime. They've now outscored Copper Hills here in this third quarter, 20-8. All of it, or most of it, coming within the last 3 or 4 minutes. They have really asserted themselves here. Lamborn off a slip screen, puts up a 3, knocks it down. That's his second 3 of the ball game. Ziri in the low block. Brody Kozlowski, by the way, now has 11 points. And on cue, make that 14. I laugh because that almost never happens. 12 points here in this third quarter for him.
Desiri must have had a mic in his ears. As soon as he heard you say Kozlowski, he passed it out, and Brody did the rest, knocking down the 3.
At least I didn't jinx him when he was shooting free throws. I've been known to do that. Jaden Haight puts up a 3. That's off the mark. Desiri flying up for the rebound, gets it. Here comes Bendinger. Shovel to Neibauer. 14 in the first half, just 2 in this third quarter. Been relatively quiet, but Brody Kozlowski finally picking up the slack as we're under a minute to go. That 3 wraps it.
It's a very similar image to his shooting in the first time they played Copper Hills. He started probably 0 for 8 or 0 for 9 from 3, and then he got it going and hit 3 threes in the second half, and that's what he's doing tonight.
He has 15 points. He has 18 points now, 16 in this third quarter. That just shows you how good he is and why Andy Enfield and USC are really high on him as Lamborn puts up another 3, left that short. Rebound by Ormond. Ball hit the rim. Don't know why the shot clock didn't reset. Fight for the ball out of bounds. We'll see what the Zebras say. I would assume it's... Well, I can't assume anything. As we're going to have a timeout by Copper Hills with 2.3 seconds left here in the quarter. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. Rewind Sports Network's coverage of Copper Hills basketball is presented all season long by Jiffy Lube of Utah. Proud to support high school sports in Utah. A sponsor of the What Drives You Scholarship Program. You can write about your goals and dreams for the chance to win a $6,500 scholarship. And 8 students will win this year, while Jiffy Lube is giving away $22,000 in scholarship awards just this year. Visit JiffyLubeUtah.com for more information about the What Drives You Scholarship Program. And this timeout is sponsored by Buco's Matco Tool Sales in West Jordan, Utah. Alexander Timolip, Tyler Gibb rounding out this third quarter here with Corner Canyon comfortably in front here this evening. 2.3 to go. Lob in to Lamborn. 3 is blocked. And that's it. So Corner Canyon finally able to break it open after a bit of a slow start, admittedly. But they're comfortably now in front as we head to the fourth quarter here at Charger Arena.
In 1971, the world's first Jiffy Lube opened in Utah. For over 50 years, we've been committed to servicing our Utah communities. Jiffy Lube, nationally known, locally owned.
Join us next Tuesday at Lone Peak High School as the long-awaited return is made. Quincy Lewis and Lehigh return to Lone Peak for the first time since their championship years together. Lehigh and Lone Peak, don't miss the doubleheader next week on Tuesday night, starting at 6 on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. And Tyler, we have Tyler Gibb joining me, Alexander Timolip, here at Charger Arena in Draper. Tyler, you grew up in that era of Quincy Lewis domination. So you know firsthand how special that's going to be for him to go back to LP for the first time in almost a decade.
Yeah, there's so much talent that Quincy Lewis has coached in his time, as a head coach at Lone Peak, and now at Lehigh. He's got his own son there who's one of the most talented players in the state. So that'll be a cool moment for him to be able to go back to a school where he has so many memories, and to do it with his son on his side.
Yeah, Dave McCann wrote an article about that in the Deseret News earlier a couple weeks ago about how special that was going to be. That three-pointer up and good. As some of the reserves now coming in here for Corner Canyon, as you would expect. And once again, we have a stoppage because the shot clock was not right. First time we've had that since the first quarter. Heading down the stretch here tonight here at Charger Arena. Copper Hills kept it close early, but Corner Canyon more than game enough to show why they are one of the best teams in Region 2 and possibly one of the best dark horses for a state championship in the state right now, as Reiser hits a tough shot right over the top of Taylor Farrow. Here's Neibauer, spins, floater in the paint. Can't get the roll, fight for the rebound. Farrow going up to get it. And it's captured finally by Wes Curtis, and again we have another stoppage for, guess what, another shot clock malfunction.
As a coach, when the game's not very close in the fourth quarter, you want your team to fight till the end and make sure they finish strong. The refs are making sure that everybody in the gym is doing that, including the scores keepers. 2 stoppages in the first minute of the fourth quarter.
Hayden Gribble, by the way, number 32, checked in at that last quarter stoppage, replacing Kozlowski, so one would assume with the scoreline where it is, his night is probably Powell. As Gribble commits the foul right out front. 6:58 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Copper Hills trying to fight their way to the end of this one here tonight. They kept it close early, but Corner Canyon just too good, and once again another shot clock malfunction. And now the officials are having a word, I think, with the fans in the stands. Everybody frustrated, as well as they should, with the shot clock operation here tonight. And that's the 5th one we've had tonight, 4th we've had overall tonight. And a wry smile by the crew chief as he walks back. Shot clock reset to 33 seconds. Let's just hope this all goes off without a hitch and everybody gets home safe at this point. Good throw ahead there from Neibauer to Desiri. Goes up. Windmill. Whip around. Woo! Reiser back the other way. High floater. That doesn't go. Hit off the bottom of the shot clock. And it goes back the other way.
You can see Desiree, he saw that he had a lot of open space, checked the defender, and he's been waiting to throw that one down.
28 points the deficit now. 28 points the lead now for Corner Canyon. They have just been on a tear here in the second half. It is 31-14 here in the second half. Once again, we are having more shot clock issues. I think everyone just wants to get home at this point.
I think they might be okay to just turn the shot clock off.
I mean, honestly,
tell nobody to stall.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to just keep the shot clock on the floor at this point. We're going to continue having problems as Bendinger hits another three.
I don't know that any team has really gotten under 7 or 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Really has been kind of just fast-paced all night long. We haven't had a whole lot of stoppages except to reset the shot clock. I think the most fouls, I think we've had about maybe 20 or so fouls here tonight total. That in and of itself is a great thing. Except the fact that the shot clock has been going off and on all night. Curtis will go to the line, shoot 2. And as well as Robertson going to get set to check in, so that will probably be the end of Isaac Neibauer's night. Jacob Curtis goes to the line, shoot 2 shots. First is on the way and good. Well, Tyler, if you're Copper Hills, you know, this has been a real gauntlet for the region play they've been in, and obviously Tuesday night's loss to Mountain Ridge was the one that probably really hurt the most out of this losing streak. But if you're John Watkins at this point, where do you go from here heading into the end of the season? Because as we've seen before, teams that are lower seeds can end up going on a run.
Yeah, and Copper Hills is a school that has a recent history of being a really good basketball school. And so there is talent in, you know, Isaiah Reiser, he's fought tonight, and he's really skilled, especially as a sophomore. You know, and oftentimes, you know, when you are struggling, you look to your veteran guys, and they have that. But Isaiah Reiser, as one of the leaders too, as a sophomore, you just hope that they can all rally together and just remember, you know, the success that Copper Hills has had, and know that, hey, you know, we've shown flashes of being able to compete with some of these top schools, and you hope you can string together a win or two, you know, heading into postseason.
Farrow hits that 3 from the near wing side. And I guess it also stands to reason, Tyler, that, you know, Copper Hills, this is a very, very young team, and I was actually talking with Isaiah Reiser the other day. You know, they lost a lot of talent coming into this season, not the least of which was Logan Whitehour transferring out of the program to Dixie, which, as we've already talked about a couple of times this year, has been more impactful than most.
Yeah,
the talent is there for this team, but you wonder if the youth is just catching up to them at the worst possible time.
Yeah, it's tough when you have guys that don't have a ton of experience, you know, themselves being on the floor for a lot of wins. And, you know, Tyler McVeigh is really the only senior that gets, you know, a majority of minutes in the rotation. And so you have to hope, you know, this experience will bode well, you know, for the coming years. Obviously, you know, this season in region play has been a little bit more difficult, not being able to see instant success. But this experience will help the program going forward, and, you know, you hope that for the Grizzlies they can see a couple of success stories in the closing of the season.
Yeah, and Tyler, they have shown flashes, like you said. I mean, the game we called earlier this year up at the Falcon Classic against Westlake, Tyler, that really, I think, was telling, not just of how much this team fights, but also of how good they can be on any given night, especially against the 6A Region 3 team.
Yeah, and another thing too that hurts them, like in matchups like this, is just the size. They don't have as much size to compete, and so talent-wise, it's there. They have a lot of that talent. It's just you run into some matchups where they lack the size.
Hayden Gribble knocks down that 3, his first points of the game. Mo Brown checked in at that last stoppage. So it's the end of Desirie's night as we come down the home stretch of this one. 4 minutes left. McVeigh drives, a fake, and scores. There's Robertson coming up the floor with it now. We got Tag Jensen coming in here at this next stoppage. And I assume he will probably be replacing one of either Farrell or Bendinger, as Taylor Farrell hits that 3, and a timeout immediately called by Dan Lunt to make the substitution. And it's Farrell who will exit the floor. the other side for Copper Hills, Jaden Haight comes in as well, along with Daxton Nelson. So the benches for both sides being emptied here as Elijah Peck also comes in for McVeigh. Isaiah Reiser has been out now for almost 2.5 minutes. So all the starters basically are done. 3:15 left to go here this evening. As we are in a running clock situation now here at 35 points. Ball goes out of bounds and it'll stay here. Again, clock running with a 35-point game as Mo Njai checks in. On the other side, Corner Canyon's number 20, Hudson Brown, also in as well. So everybody plays here tonight for both teams. Peterson Lunt also in number 4. Again, clock will run except on timeouts and fouls now as Peck spins in the post. And we got a tie-up. And possession arrow favors Corner Canyon. Clock running under 2 minutes and 10 now here in the game. Here's Brown. Tyler Mortensen, number 30 rather, checked in at that last stoppage as well. Here's Lunt behind a screen, trying to bank in that 3, won't go. Nelson tracks down the rebound. Armand. Keeps his dribble alive back to Haight. Armand behind the Haight screen for 3. That's long. Rebound captured by Nelson. Njai for somewhere to go. Peck behind a screen. That 3 won't go. Brown clears the board. Approaching a minute to go here in this one. Second half has been all Corner Canyon here since it was an 11-point game at halftime. It's been 43-19 Corner Canyon. Mortensen can't hit that 3. Fight for the loose ball. Haight gets there, poked out of bounds. It'll go back to Copper Hills. And Archer Burke now comes in, the sophomore, replacing Mo Brown. So everybody has played minutes here tonight for Corner Canyon.
I think they need to
reset the shot clock again.
Reset the shot clock.
Oh,
game clock keep running, but the shot clock paused.
Theme of the night, right? It just wouldn't be without a shot clock stoppage as we got a foul with 27.
They did the right thing. Middle of that possession, they just turned the shot clock off.
Yeah, they just shut the shot clock off. As the clock will stop officially now with 20.1 seconds to go. Remember, the running clock will only stop on free throws officially when they start, as Njai misses the first. What a second half by Corner Canyon. They really laid down the marker here in the second half. As Njai misses the second. Chased down. And the clock officially starts now. And Dan Lunt just pacing the sideline at this point. And 1-3 shot by Mortensen left it short. Tipped up. Out of bounds, clock will not stop. That's it. So Corner Canyon lays down a big-time marker here tonight. A 35-point win over Copper Hills, scoring 43 second-half points. Back to wrap it up after this word from Igloo Outfitters on the Rewind. Wrapping it up here on the Rewind Sports Network tonight with Copper Hills and Corner Canyon. Corner Canyon victorious 75-40 over the Grizz. Alexander Timlip and Tyler Gibb putting a bow on this one. Tyler, an 11-point game at halftime, but a 43-point second half by this Corner Canyon team. I'm saying it right now, this team looks dangerous.
Yeah, when everybody's clicking and they piece it together, this is a tough team, and they're tough because defensively on the inside they have length. We saw Desiree tonight. He was so effective down low. They have great point of attack defense with Valdez, who you hope is okay. But when they're all clicking offensively and defensively, they're a juggernaut.
So let's talk about that for a second. Brighton Valdez goes out with that ankle injury late in the early in the third quarter. That's a huge point of concern right now for Dan Lunt, because if he's out for any extended period of time, that could be a problem for Corner Canyon defensively.
Yeah, and he's still currently, laying on the trainer's table. You can see him on the very far left of the screen with his left ankle taped, and he's been there for some time, and, he looks like he's in some pain. You hope it's just, a tough roll of the ankle and that, maybe he'll miss a game or two, but you hope that he's back for the stretch run, and into the playoffs.
So let's name our Heinemann Associates Player of the Game, presented by the full-service law firm that is committed to winning for you, the client. Tyler, it's a very tough choice. It's a tale of two halves, really, but USC commit Brody Kozlowski for Corner Canyon is the Heinemann Associates Player of the Game.
Yeah, and he really helped to break this game open in the second half. He was effective in so many ways in the first half. One of those wasn't as much his scoring, but then in the third quarter, he really opened it up with his scoring. And that's when you see when this Corner Canyon team is at their best. Kozlowski is doing so many things, and he was scoring so well in that third quarter. Just an all-around great game.
Tyler, this is going to be exciting. We got 1 week left in the regular season. And right now, as far as we're both seeing it in 6A, it's really anybody's division at this point to win the state championship.
A lot of talented teams, a lot of close games among the best teams. So you don't really see any team completely dominating everybody. There's a lot of talent and should be a great tournament.
We'll be there for all of it. Tyler and I will be off next Tuesday, but we'll be back next Friday for more KSL sports coverage of high school basketball. For Doug Jardine and for Tyler Gibb and Vince Francis and the rest of our crew tonight, I'm Alexander Timlip. Thank you for joining us for Copper Hills basketball presented by Ken Garf Automotive Dealers. Again, your final score, Corner Canyon 75, Copper Hills 40. Until we meet again, folks, have a good night. Aloha from Utah, and take care.